Alright guys, back for another day and we are back for some more Championship transfer rumours. Only a few more days to go until deadline day and things are really starting to heat up now in the Championship. What does your club still need to do before now and the end of the window? Let me know down below. And also as well, if you're not subscribed, make sure to stick around and subscribe for some more regular Championship content. We'll have plenty of content coming out after the transfer window as well. But without any further ado, let's jump in. We've had confirmation that Hull City have landed Louis Barry on loan until the end of the season. And I think this one's a brilliant capture for Hull. Hull have obviously been one of the most proactive Championship clubs during this transfer window so far. But yeah, this could be a brilliant bit of business considering all the Championship clubs that were chasing the Aston Villa youngster. Earlier in the window, you had the likes of Leeds, Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Derby at one point were chasing him. Plenty of Championship clubs have been after him. But the fact that Hull have beaten them all to his signature is a bit of a statement of intent. With the uptick in form that Hull have had recently under their new boss, the business they've done in January, I struggle to see them going down from this point. Sheffield United have been very proactive during this window as well. They've added Harry Clark on loan for the remainder of the season. He's coming in from Ipswich. They've only really featured sparingly in the Premier League campaign for the Tractor Boys up until this point of the campaign, so makes sense that they've sent the right back out on loan. Tottenham youngster Yang-Min Hyuk has joined QPR on loan for the remainder of the season. Tottenham have only just signed the South Korean youngster, but they've instantly sent him out on loan to Loftus Road to gain a little bit more experience. Interested to see how the 18-year-old gets on. Still looks like quite a raw prospect, but he had a really good record in the K-League last season, so he could add a little bit of stardust perhaps to that QPR forward line if he does manage to hit the ground running. We've had confirmation of Mark Travers joining Middlesbrough on loan for the remainder of the season from Bournemouth. Always rated Travers as a goalkeeper in the Championship. It was a position that Middlesbrough needed to fix, if we're being honest. I think that one's a nice capture until the end of the season. We've seen Thelo Asgard joining Luton from Wigan Athletic for a fee in the region of 3.5 million. Luton are looking to get really busy in these final days of the window as they look to improve their chances of beating the drop this season. I think this one's a good signing, to be honest with you. He's 22 years old. I think he's ready for that step up from League One. But boy, do Luton need him to hit the ground running with the predicament they find themselves in the Championship right now. Leeds United's hopes of landing Emi Buendia on a loan deal until the end of the season have been put up in flames as the Argentine playmaker has instead joined Bayer Leverkusen on loan until the end of the season. There were some reports floating around earlier in the window that Villa were willing to sanction a loan deal for Buendia, and with the Fark and Buendia linked together, there were a few murmurings that Leeds were interested, but yeah, this one won't be happening anymore. And this one hasn't been fully confirmed as of recording, but Swansea have confirmed that they have accepted a bid from Coventry for Matt Grimes, so we expect that one to go through. Grimes now off on his way to Coventry. Swansea fans, I'd love to get your perspective on this one in the comments down below. Obviously, the captain departing. Swansea have since announced that Ben Cabango will take over as their captain now. Coventry believed to be paying a fee of around about 4 million for the Swansea skipper. I must admit, I didn't see this one coming into this January window, but it's all moved along quite quickly, hasn't it? But those are some of the done deals that have gone through in the Championship lately. Now, without any further ado, let's jump into the rumours. We spoke about Richard Kone quite a bit on last time's video, and we've had quite a few developments since then. Wycombe's third bid of around about £6 million has been rejected by Wycombe, and the Championship club are now considering coming in with a fourth offer. According to Sky Sports, that fourth offer will be worth around £7 million, with the breakdown of that deal thought to be it'll be around about £4 million up front and £3 million in add-ons. To illustrate just how important Richard Kone is to Wycombe, he was at his firing best in midweek as he scored twice, including a 95th minute winner against Barnsley, and I mean, it does feel like a lot of Wycombe's promotion hopes this season are built around Kone, but this is crazy money for a League One player we're talking about here. It definitely feels like because of Wycombe's situation in League One, they're flying high right now. They don't want to lose their top scorer, and Luton's almost desperation in and around the bottom of the Championship, that is going to drive up the price. But whether or not Wycombe cave into Luton's fourth bid, we'll have to wait and see, because I mean, to turn down a £6 million bid in League One takes some doing. But he's already scored 16 goals so far this season. He's only 21 as well, so really young. And he's still under contract with Wycombe until 2026 as well. While it's still up in the air whether or not Luton will land a deal for Richard Kone, they do look to be in the process of securing a deal for Exeter's Melenik Ali. The Exeter forward has scored 9 goals in League One this season, also chipped in with an assist as well. He's been in brilliant form of late with 4 goals in his last 3 appearances. According to reports, Luton have agreed a fee of around about 1.5 million with Exeter for him. Leeds United have had a very quiet transfer window up until this point, but they are being linked with a few players ahead of deadline day, the first of which being Newcastle fullback Matt Targett. Now, a few reports have suggested that this deal is quite advanced, but we've since had some conflicting reports coming out of local Leeds United reporters saying that that's not quite the case. Targett really not played a lot of football over these last 18 months at Newcastle, and is that a priority position that Leeds need to be strengthening right now? I'm not so sure. But the big rumour regarding Leeds United right now relates to Cameron Archer, because he is someone who Leeds reportedly like the look of, although Southampton haven't decided whether or not they'll let him leave in the January window. Southampton are thought to be reluctant to let Archer leave at this stage, but he is someone that Leeds have been tracking. I think Archer's someone who's sort of fallen into that category of maybe not quite good enough for the Premier League, but definitely good enough for the Championship. In 40 Championship appearances for both Preston North End and Middlesbrough, Archer scored 18 goals. In the Premier League, he's not quite had that same strike rate, but you could definitely see why a club like Leeds would be interested. He's a sharpshooter in and around the box. He's got a good decent turn of pace, I'd say, good drop of the shoulder as well. I do think he'd be an improvement on someone like a Joel Perreault, but whether or not Southampton are willing to sanction that sort of deal, we'll have to wait and see. And it looks as if Emmanuel Latte's last move to Atlanta United could be back on now. Quite a while ago, the MLS club had already agreed a deal in principle with Middlesbrough, but for whatever reason, this deal seemed to hit the buffers, whether that was down to personal reasons or a few other complications. But over the last 24 hours, it does seem as if that deal has been revived, and now as of recording looks more than likely that it will go through before the deadline. So Middlesbrough are about to land a massive chunk of money, the initial fee being worth around about 18 million, but that could be topped up by a further 4 million to come in add-ons as well. And unsurprisingly, from a Middlesbrough perspective, that will be a club record sale for them. Speaking of Middlesbrough, they could be getting very busy over these next few days. Another potential outgoing could be Anthony Dijksteel. Now, Millwall have reportedly made a loan inquiry to try and sign the Boro defender on a loan deal until the end of the season. I've seen it reported that Boro would be open to sanctioning a potential loan deal if the finances in this deal were right, and if Middlesbrough could find adequate cover for that position as well. So a few things would need to fall into place if this deal was to go through, but according to the reports that I've seen, Boro would be open to it. Speaking of Millwall, another addition looked to be coming in at the Den is Wolves midfielder Luke Cundle. Reportedly, Millwall have agreed a deal with Wolves in the region of around about £1 million. There was quite a bit of interest in Cundle throughout this January window. At one point, it seemed like Wolves were going to sanction a loan deal, but instead it looks like Millwall have beaten a few clubs to the punch and have got a permanent deal over the line. Swansea are on the verge of agreeing a deal for Merkle Vidal, although the young Swedish midfielder will be returning to his club in Denmark on loan for the remainder of the season. Promising midfielder there who Swansea are looking to recruit. Obviously, he might be a long-term Matt Grimes replacement. In the short term, it looks like they'll be looking towards the Premier League, trying to get a loan in for the remainder of the season, but we'll have to wait and see on that over these next few days. And speaking of Swansea, they are one of the Championship clubs looking at a potential loan deal for former Liverpool youngster Bobby Clark. He's currently playing for Red Bull Salzburg, and a whole host of Championship clubs are supposedly interested in a loan deal. Along with Swansea, you've also got the likes of Derby and Hull, who have also been credited with interest. He's definitely one to keep your eye on. Freddie Diangana is a player with his future up in the air, with only 6 months left on his contract with West Brom. According to reports, the Baggies had presented Diangana with a 3-year contract, but the winger has since snubbed that offer, as he's reportedly got his heart set on a move to Celta Vigo, with the La Liga side reportedly interested. Now, already during this window, Diangana turned down a contract offer made from Burnley to try and sign him on a free transfer at the end of the season. But going off the latest reports, it seems like Diangana wants that move to Spain. Whether or not that'll happen in January, though, we'll have to wait and see, as he could be willing to wait until the end of the season before he'd be able to move on as a free agent. Now, on last time's video, we spoke about Wigan goalkeeper Sam Tickle and his links to my side, Preston North End. At that point, it was being reported that North End had made a bid for the Wigan goalkeeper, although since that point, we've had contrary reports to that. Some local reporters from Preston claiming that an official bid hasn't been submitted yet, and Wigan boss Sean Maloney has also confirmed that they're yet to receive an official offer either, and he's basically doubled down and said he won't be leaving in the January window. And to be honest, I'd be very surprised if we did go in with a big offer in these final days of the window. I think the goalkeeping position is definitely something we're going to be looking to address going into the summer, but for the time being, we've still got Woodman until the end of the season, and yeah, I'd be surprised if we were to spend big on a goalkeeper in January after laying down quite a bit of money for Gibson earlier in the window. Portsmouth are in talks with Rotherham over a deal for Cohen Bramall, and Rotherham boss Steve Evans has made a few comments on this one. While he's confirmed that the two clubs are in talks, he's stressed the point that at this stage nothing is too advanced. He confirmed that the player has been training today, although things at this stage of the window can move very fast, as we all know. Sunderland are still looking to strengthen their forward options ahead of deadline day. One player they have been linked to recently is Ajax's Chuba Akpom, who reportedly will be on the move in these final days of the window. The Ajax player is available with a potential loan to buy option on the cards. Sunderland are one of the clubs that have been linked with him. You've also got the likes of Lille, Fiorentina, Leicester City, another club who have sin linked as well, although according to Fabrizio Romano, Akpom to Sunderland seems quite unlikely with some of the other clubs that are interested, but Sunderland are actively working on bringing in a new forward, it would seem. Blackburn Rovers have a deal in place for Augustus Cargbo, who'd be coming over from the Italian second division. According to reports, he's due to undergo a medical at Blackburn tonight ahead of that deal. 25-year-old has been capped by Sierra Leone on 19 occasions, and in Serie B this season he's got 5 goal contributions with 3 goals and 2 assists. Could Cashin still be on his way to Brighton? Well, according to reports, the Premier League club are still pushing to get this deal done before deadline day. However, as of recording, no deal has been agreed with Derby as of yet. Obviously, he's someone who Brighton have liked the look of for quite a while, even going back to last summer when they tried to sign him. It's been said that Derby are holding out for a fee of at least 10 million if they are going to sanction a sale at this late stage of the transfer window, although whether or not Brighton will reach that figure, we'll have to wait and see. Well, there you guys have it. That will wrap it up for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you did go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like and get all your thoughts on the transfer window in the comments down below. There'll be plenty more going on in the Championship that we just couldn't cover in today's video. News is coming out thick and fast right now, but yeah, make sure to get in the comments down below and fill me in on anything we didn't mention today. But other than that, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one.